Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Doreen Omasaba, the only Gishu in this country, Uganda. Don't come for me. If you are Gishu out there, you also speak for yourself. But here we are on the Omasaba street, and I am the only Gishu around. So thank you for coming back. And for those that are subscribing for the first time, you're welcome on this road. It's a bit husky. It has a few potholes, but we are always here and we always show up. For those that are returning and it's not your first time, thank you for choosing to stay on the platform. So every time I come back and we will have something to speak about, we always talk about the usual communication, how communication can, how communication would, how communication is. But today we are going to talk about something random, something rare, and it's because it's what I think I'm going through currently. But it has something that you might advise me on, and that's why I have brought it up here. Thank you, and let's dive into it. All right. So, generally, um, business loans. I have been on these streets for a while, and I've been looking for something tailored to a Ugandan businesswoman who is starting and she needs capital. Well, I have taught, if you haven't known my profile before, I have taught businesses in how to start and maintain businesses. I know the manual. I know the hard copy of tan, but when it comes down to now do it, I am on the do it part. So after this, I'll be able to speak with a lot of concrete information, especially on starting and maintaining a business. So there are very many ways that we can source for capital to start businesses. One of them, of course, is your savings. You work at a job and you collect some money. You save up a bit, and then you start a job you start a business that you really intended to start. The second one is if you have supportive family members or relatives that could chip in, and just when you pitch to them your business idea, they are able and willing to just support you along the way. And some of them are gracious enough that even maybe 1 year into it and you have hit a lapse, they come in and still add you more. Yeah, not all of us have that blessing. The third one is, of course, loans. Of course, there are very many, but I wanted to speak about those three because they are the most closest to us. At my age, you could have worked several jobs, and maybe either you saved up something and you started a business, or you could have supportive family members that just wanted to give you some money and support you upwards. And then lastly, you could just have gone into a business, a bank, a micro bank or something to just get a few loans, or even somebody loaned you money on the basis that you're going to return that money when the business picks up. Now, this is a topic that has not overly been talked about, especially for Ugandan businesses. We all know loans are thriving every single minute. It's worse if you have ever borrowed from those online guys. All the online platforms that service loans come on your phone, even if you interact with just one. So it's a thriving business everywhere you go. Telecoms are giving loans, businesses are giving loans, KCB is giving loans on the go on your MTN line. Loans are everywhere. But also, what is real is that the prevalence of people not returning this money back is also high. And mainly, it's not because they don't want to return it. Some might actually just be doing it and throwing lines away, so that they have eaten sort of free money. But the many that I know of that really wanted to advance when they got this money is they have failed. The discipline has failed to come to them, or even when the discipline came. Yes, so even when the discipline came, something failed them to actually clear these loans, and also the pressure, the what, and all those other things that come with getting loans. So generally, I'd like us to discuss about that. For a considerable amount of time, I've been considering getting a loan to make sure that I can be able to grow my business. You all know I run a little toad store, which sells baby clothes, baby toys, all that kind of everything babies or everything children from the ages of 0 to the ages of 15. But of course, as you start businesses, you move with the business, you start to want to have more of the things that parents are looking for, that guardians are looking for their children. So in trying to get here and there, you fail. You really want to have everything, but then the money you have cannot accommodate everything that you want. So with loans, I would like to inquire from you, our audience. How do you handle business loans? I know most of you handle businesses, and when you get that million, those 2 millions, those 5 millions, how do you handle the millions, especially if it's on an individual basis? I'm not talking about people who have failed to pay loans and your spouse either came in, your parents came in, somebody came in and chipped in for you and paid the balance for you. I'm talking about people who have gone to get loans, got the loans, and after getting the loans have paid them consistently until the finish. How do you do that? Can we have somebody to just expound on this thing so that we are able to get information out there? Well, I'll just give one tip that my mom told me, especially about loans. It might have not been business loans, but it was about getting a loan of any kind of thing. So I've grown up with my mom and dad, but mostly I'm going to be talking about my mom right now. So because my mom has survived off of loans, not because she did not have a primary income, she did, but she was a primary teacher, and by then they were getting 200 something. So it was so insufficient to cater for all her needs as well as the children, us. So she always depended on loans, top ups, and all that. So recently I was sitting down with her and I was like, now I think I have started to understand why, even when initially I would blame her, why are you taking this loan? Please don't go for that loan. But now I have started to think, she must she must have been wise. Now I want to know, how did she handle these loans and the top ups that she got during that time and everything else that she actually did. So when I was talking to her recently, she was like, Doreen, um, when you're going to get a loan, especially from somebody who believes that you will always pay, don't get a loan that is small of anything. It could be money, it could be food. There are people who do food loans. They go to a shop and just get food to pay later. There are people who get loans of any kind. If you're going to get a loan, she said, let it not be in small quantities that will get finished fast. And then you will need another loan, and yet you have not yet finished this loan. If you're going to get, for example, a food loan, and that day you really need just a kilo, don't go for a kilo because this person knows you're going to pay. So what you do is you go and get 10 kilos, because if you eat a kilo a day, it will give you 10 days to pay back. And when you bring to pay, you give yourself a grace time of maybe a week or two, and then you can go pick 20. So always go and pick more. That gives you time to pay. Unless, for example, if you get, I'm just giving an example, if you get a sugar loan of 1 kg and in 2 days it's over, but you have not yet cleared the debt, you cannot go back to the same either shop attendant or whatever you pick the sugar from and tell them you need more sugar on loan. It will look really bad. Even the person will be like, but you don't pay. First pay the other one, then. So what you do is, if you need sugar, for example, for a month, and you might get money at the end of the month, go get sugar, get 10 kgs, get a sack, because at the end of the day you will get 100 to pay. But then as much as you'll be put on pressure to pay for the amounts that you have requested for, it will not be at a loss that you will run out of the same thing as you're looking for money to pay your loan. No, you will have it in surplus, but then you will have to pay the loan. So I don't know if that applies to businesses as well. You can tell us. I'm sure you are more experienced. You guys out there, I'm sure you're more experienced with business loans, but you can tell us, if I'm getting a business loan and my capacity of payment is not chap chap chap, like I'm not able to pay a loan, let's say 1 million in a month, and maybe I would like a grace of 6 months. It's 1 million, I'm telling you. So I'm talking about amounts here and periods of payment. What do you suggest and how would you go about it if you had a business that required a lot more money, but then you want to get it and be able to pay back? Because if you got a 5 million loan and you're going to pay it in 1 year, it will squeeze you, right? But is that the right way to go? So that in 1 year you can be squeezed enough to pay back the 1 million so that you are able to get 2 millions? I mean, the 5 million, sorry, the 5 million, so that you are able to get the 10 million? Or should you go as you think, let me get my 2 million. At least I will pay in okay, in 6 months or in 3 months. What do you suggest? Over to you. Thank you. So for today, it's just going to be a learning experience, especially for me. Um, any business mentor out there that is looking for a mentee, I'm here. And for all those that have advice, especially on business loans and how you handle businesses and loans, please hit my comment section, hit my DM me, and let me just learn from this experience. It's nice coming out here to chat with you guys, but the video doesn't have to be this long. So let's end it at this. Thank you for subscribing. Don't forget to comment and leave a comment down there. Thank you very much and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Ciao.